Hello brothers, sisters, and neighbors. Ped Records back again with another video. For whatever reason, I don't have my tripod for my main camera, so I'm using my phone for this video, but hopefully it's going to be just as good. Anyways, I want to give you an update about the inventory that we have here. So I'm going to show you what we have. So here's avocado plant. These are one of the older avocado plants, and they seem to be doing pretty fine during the winter. This other one, the avocado plants seem to be doing fine. I'll show you the next one. This avocado plant is doing really well. These are the biggest leaves I've ever seen grow in our backyard. I'm really proud of this plant. I would say so myself. But this is a project that my mom has mostly been working on. This is the final and last avocado plant. This is the oldest one that was successfully germinated by my mother. Seems to be working pretty well. And as you can see, there's some top leaves right there, so there's new hope for this guy. Show the other plants. And moving on to mangoes. This here is Slurpee, and he's the first one I showed you in the last video. I'll show you Adolf later. He's not doing so well, by the way. Here, Slurpee, you can see there's just not a lot of growth at the top. He hasn't really been growing. That's because mangoes just don't grow that well in cold weather. So I'll show you the next one. I've been trying with different mango plants. This seems to be, very good project to work on. Show you the next one. This one is probably one of the saddest ones because it grew so well over the summer and now it's just dying. And as you can see, there's some brown right there, and I think it's just rotting. I don't know if it's even living anymore, you know. I don't know if there's going to be any hope for this, but that's not going to stop me from growing a mango tree. This one seems to be doing all right. I'm not sure if any of these are really going to grow really big. So here's Adolf, that poor little Atolfo plant, and it seems to be brown at the bottom, but green at the top and kind of browning at the top too, so I have no idea if this one's going to make it or not. We left all these things on vacation and we bagged them, but they seem to have fallen over, some of them, or at least this one did, so I just kind of straightened it out and put some dirt underneath it to support it, but I don't know if this is going to survive. And there are some that just seem to look really healthy, like this one seems to look alright. The top obviously is not really growing new growth, and that's to be expected when leaving them outside during the winter. And lastly, this is the biggest mango plant that I have in my inventory. It's over a foot tall, in case you can't tell there, but a few leaves have fallen off because of the cold damage. And there's some, I think some pest damage right here. It seems to be kind of withering away with those leaves, but this is by far the hardiest mango plant, which I'm thankful to God about that. And lastly, here are the pineapple plants. So this one's Richard. As you can see the date right there. He's a little over maybe half a year, well, he's not quite half a year old. Maybe he is, I don't know. It's like the 4th of January. So it's getting closer to going back to school. That's the reason why I've been making videos lately. But he seems to be doing the best. Here, I'll give him a feel. See how he feels. And when it gets cold, they tend to feel more rubbery. They don't tend to feel as firm as they should be. This one is Tails. Now, this one really suffered during our little vacation, and I didn't cover him. I put him over by the fence over there, but it didn't seem to really help all that much, and it just kind of froze. And this one really feels rubbery, very soft. And I don't know if Tails is going to make a comeback, but definitely pretty sad what's happening to the pineapples. This one was a project I was working at my school, and although it looks kind of healthy, like from a distance, it still feels kind of rubbery. It's not as bad as Tails, but it's still rubbery feelings. I don't know if this has life in it. It just looks like it's rotting away. From my perspective, it just looks more brown in my eyes than on this camera. It just looks more green on the camera, but in my eyes it looks more brown. So that's the last of the outdoor plants. I've been working on a variety of different things indoors while I was not recording or anything like that. There's a lot of different stuff that we have to look at here. First off, we have the apples here. Now the apples are pretty interesting. This is like some kind of red apple. The way you do it is you put apple seeds in a plastic bag with the wet paper towel method, and then you also put it in a fridge for a few weeks, and they actually sprout. Seem to be doing pretty well. Some of them are kind of droopy. for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but this one seems to be doing the best right here. It seems to be getting its other leaves coming out of the center. I've noticed this with a lot of different plants that I've been trying to grow, is that they grow those kind of clovery looking leaves. And so these are two types of dragon fruit right here. So this one was the first one I worked with. This is from the first dragon fruit I ever ate. We got the dragon fruit right here. These are white. They're also called pitaya or pitahaya. And then this one right here is the red or violet dragon fruit. They tend to be more tasty and also big too, and very expensive. So as I've said before, this is the main way I try to germinate little seeds. And it works best if they're little seeds. Then I can germinate them much better and faster. They seem to be doing pretty well. They tend to be more like flourishing with the violets and the white. So these are both dragon fruit. So I have extra ammunition in case of those ones over there don't live. The dragon fruit seem to be pretty easy to take care of because they're cacti. And this right here is guava. Guava tends to be more like a pear or an apple of the tropics from Mexico or whatever, and we got it from whatever store it was, and it was white flesh. Not my favorite. I like the strawberry kind, but still I like to try to grow different things from seed. Almost every fruit I can get my hands on, and especially if it's not commonly grown. And it looks like a forest in there. It's so cool looking, and it smells pretty good too. Yeah, it smells very fresh. So this one's a variety of different plants that I'm trying to grow here. These first little sprouts you see here are fig, and they're strawberry fig too. They're very good. I've had them before. They're pretty good to eat. And then these little seeds here, they look like some kind of melon or pumpkin or cucumber seeds. Those are actually Kiwano melon seeds. And if you don't know what those are also called African horned melon or jelly melon. You should look it up. They're really weird looking, really cool at the same time. It's like orange spiky melon, expensive, and it's green on the inside, and it really does have a jelly consistency. And then there's a persimmon seed in the back. It's a fuyu, so it's very edible, and it doesn't have that weird taste in the roof of your mouth. Yeah, these are the more edible kind, the ones that you don't have to cook. So I'll just get that out there. The seeds are actually kind of rare because they're not known to have too many seeds. Most persimmons that I've eaten that are fuyu don't tend to have seeds like this, and this one happened to grow pretty well in the bag too. So I do recommend the bag method to anyone that wants to grow stuff, including like berries or apples. And so this little forest over here is actually kiwi. I just love trying to grow different things. Seems to be doing pretty well. There's a lot of them. That makes a lot of good test subjects to try to grow kiwis. Just grow all the kind of fruit you want. And here's the guava. And the one right here seems to be doing the best. Now, what happened over the little vacation we took to Arizona, what happened when we just kind of left them here, most of them just dried out. That was the only one that was alive when I came back. It seemed to be doing the best out of all of them. And then I just replaced them with the ones you saw in the bag over there. I wanted to make sure I had 10 in there at least. And then this here is a mango seed. I'll pull it out so you can get a better look at it. So we got our mango seed here. I always like to have backups in case if the other ones just do not grow, and controlled environments just seem to work the best. So I'm definitely going to try to improve my methods. So this is the fridge, and this is where I keep the more cold stuff like berries and apples. So I'm going to take a look at this Golden Delicious, and it was on the September 20th. So I'm going to take a look at that first. So as you can see, the refrigeration method does work. I will say that I never saw these guys come out of the apple looking like this. And you can see the white little root. A very good sign. I could kind of plant it if I wanted to, but I want to make sure it looks pretty big before I go ahead and take it out of its controlled environment here. They seem to grow very well because they need to simulate winter for like 8 weeks or so. And the same with berries. This is a little experiment I'm working on here. The reason why I say experiment is because I don't know if it's going to work or not. These, believe it or not, are cloudberry seeds. Now, if you don't know what cloudberries are, they are pretty much only found in Sweden. There are parts of the United States where they grow them, but I've never heard of them. I just cannot find the seeds online. But you can find the seeds through cloudberry preserves, which are sold at like IKEA or something like that, or maybe some local Swedish store. But what I'm doing here is trying to grow cloudberry seeds from preserves, and I'll let you guys know how that works out. These take longer than apples to germinate from. I got these out of preserves that were kind of in our fridge for a couple of years actually, and somehow still taste pretty good. The smell wasn't so great, but it seems to be pretty good, like tasting still. I'll let you guys know. So yeah, that was the inventory that I have outside and inside. Yeah, that's pretty much the full tour of it. One thing I'm really considering is trying to like put a more controlled environment for plants that just do not like the cold weather at all, and try to get other things to grow during the winter as well, like berries and apples. I mean, I'm very interested in greenhouses and, you know, miniature ones, very, very, very cheap for almost $0. I'm very interested in that. You know, the only thing I really want to buy is like plastic wrap or pieces of wood and miniature heaters. So, brothers, sisters, and neighbors, if you have liked this video, be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys later. God bless you.